I've been called just another pretty face. No question, I am different than the guys I race against. Throughout my career, I've been made fun of, mocked, and belittled.
Checkered flag is out in Indianapolis, and the pubs are open in the UK. Dan Weldon has just won the Indianapolis 500.
But Weldon's victory was more than overshadowed. It was eclipsed by the achievements of Danica Patrick, who was racing in her first 500 and who became the first woman ever to lead the race for so much as a lap, eventually finishing fourth. In the wake of the Danica deluge, Weldon wasn't shy about pointing out who'd finished first.
My gender has made me an instant punchline.
Now, I was able to observe this endangered species up close by mimicking their sexism regarding race car driver Danica Patrick.
So it's utter folly to assume that she could even properly work a stick shift, you know, other than that of her husband and provider, if you follow my ribald analogy.
Thank you. About damn time. The mammaroids gets in the way of the damn wheel. It's just basic anatomy. There ought to not be no damn woman behind the wheel of no damn race car.
Daddy, that girl's done pretty good.
We can't all be men, Rusty. Somebody has to be the loser.
The only race she ought to be running is the race to start a litter of young'uns.
Did I deserve it? What do you think? In the eyes of some, I may never measure up as an equal. Being a girl describes me, but it never defined me.
Turn now to our instant index here on a Sunday night, and racing to the top of the list tonight, Danica Patrick, making NASCAR history this evening. Patrick pulling off the biggest win of her 4-year NASCAR career, becoming the first woman ever to win the Daytona 500 pole. At just over 196 miles per hour, she beat out 37 other drivers, including 4-time champion Jeff Gordon.
To understand me best, there's really only one thing you need to know. If I ever get the chance, this girl will do everything in my power to kick your ass.
Seventh low, treble front straightaway, big pile up. Danica Patrick and the 34 of David Reagan.
Blue right front.
Hi, 10-4.
She and her Stewart-Haas teammate Ryan Newman, now both those cars pretty well destroyed with right.
Within a collision, Tony Kanaan was coming in behind Danica Patrick, and the race second place challenger right now is dead on pit road.
Watch out. We're done. We're done.
I can see damage to the right front suspension on Tony Kanaan's car.
As soon as I pulled out, they said stop. And so I'd done the burnout and I launched forward.
Tony, just stay there for a sec. Hold on. If I ever again compete with her, again, I'm not racing for this team anymore. Ever. We talk about this at the beginning of the weekend.
It's a really terrible thing that I think we're all a little embarrassed because it happened within the team.
That's a good way to lose the championship.
Contact here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's real unfortunate. She did have an incredible race. To be on the lead lap at 435 lap.
With the handling for Danica Patrick. She was driving side by side with Dario Franchitti. Looked like she was going to pick off Dario and Weldon both at the same time. Then all of a sudden she got out of sorts, and it cost her a couple of spots on the racetrack.
When I went down into one, it's completely alongside of him, and then Dario popped in 3 wide, and it's not my fault if he was hung out to dry on the outside or his spotter didn't call 3 wide. But all I know is that he should have backed off. He got past. It's not my problem.
That is someone's shoe. And then here comes Danica. And bam, drop kicks it. And here is Danica's radio.
Should I hit?
Okay.
See that? Window gets open because she carried too much speed into the corner.
She was able to hold on to the spot, though, and it looks like there's no serious damage.
Something's wrong with my steering.
Yeah, she is becoming preoccupied with things.
I know this may sound silly, but we didn't have this issue until the shoe went up underneath the car when she hit it. I don't see how that could have affected the steering.
Marty, I've hit everything there is to hit in this sport. I've never hit a shoe.
Yeah.
And I'd love to play off experience, but I can't honestly say that. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's a very, very unusual set of circumstances. But you see that she's leaving the window open here because she's making late apexes.
Listen to the Canadian crowd.
Yeah. He's still got to get off the corner. But the bottom line is that the tires are wearing, the brakes are wearing, and the car is going to fade. And Danica needs coaching here, regardless of what's wrong with the car potentially. She needs to be coached. Right here, exactly. Surrender the lead and get back into a rhythm.
So Jacques Villeneuve is going to make the hometown fans very happy here. He comes across the finish line this lap and will retake the lead. Now, we were talking about how eventful the laps have been. The shoe wasn't the last of it. While we were in commercial break, let's go back and show you what happened here. And you think this might be a bracket that held some of the weight into the car?
Yeah, so we'll hear Tony Eury Jr. comment about the tungsten rattling in the car. This is a bracket. Yeah, I think it's a cover. I think it's a cover, but it doesn't hold the ballast in the car.
Danica Patrick back on pit road.
We've had time to look at the video. What came out of this car was the wedge that sits on the truck arm, and what it does is establish the pinion angle in these cars. This is a great save by the crew. They recognized it when they changed the left rear tire. Danica gave great information. All they had to do was tighten the U-bolt, and she's good to go. That was a big save.
She got alongside me and not quite far enough, and you know, she touched me, but you know what it's like when you're not winning races and you've got pressure on too, and you know, I guess it's unfortunate for her because her teammates are winning and she's not.
Danica, she was very lucky. She got so sideways in turn one, shot down through the grass and saved that car, but that was almost a big one for Danica.
He doesn't have an answer. He came down into me. If you get past, you get past. You don't hit people.
I have no problem with anybody else on the track. It's just, I think she's under a lot of pressure.
See another helmet toss? Finger point.
Yes. 198 of 200 laps are being shown complete. Helio Castroneves just 4 miles away, and Danica Patrick's car, the 16 machine, slows on the front straight. Looks like she will pull off the track in turn number 1.
Sam Hornish's car, all torn up. Finished 12th. See, Danica's got damage.
More damage than what she sustained in that previous caution. See what's happening to them here.
While we were watching the race for the win, this happened. Whoops. Looks like Sam ran Danica out of room. I didn't think much of that.
I just remember I was side by side with somebody and then boom.
Helio Castroneves will finish first. Danica Patrick has exited her car and not happy at all as the car comes to a stop before the end of this race.
I would say that after Michigan was mostly frustration. Just disappointment, frustration, a little bit of anger.
Boy, Danica Patrick really upset and was furious as she exited the car.
But mostly just frustration after a long, hard day.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. You know, he came up and apologized afterwards, so I'm not sure what happened. It was, he just came across the track, and that's all I know, so.
We blew out a right front tire coming off of turn 4, and I was getting pushed by Elliott Sadler, which I was glad for the push through the middle of 3 and 4, but by the time we got to the tri-oval, just car wouldn't turn anymore, and I was doing everything I could do to get slowed down and stay out of the wall, and you know, obviously we weren't able to do that, and then I got hooked into the wall after the race was over, which isn't very cool at all, but I don't know, it's frustrating, and we had a good car and just didn't have everything happen that we needed to at the end of the race.
You guys just spoke. What was that conversation like?
She said, yeah, right, and you know, I'm not sure why anybody would drive in on the bottom of the tri-oval and then run themselves into the wall at the exit just to prove a point. So I don't know, she's got something stuck in her head that isn't quite right, but spinning somebody after the race is over isn't right either. And you know,
The lead up to the incident at Mid-Ohio was have a hard time getting by. She's like, you know, the master of trying to outbrake you, it seems like. And, you know, she cut me off in the middle of the straightaway one time. And, you know, then the next day, I'm out there and the same things are happening. So now it's 2 days in a row.
She couldn't pass me. I am good in the braking. And she couldn't pass me in the back straight. I was driving clean. This was something that is just already in the past.
I calmly got out of the car. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I'm going to go down and talk to her. I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to say something to her. Why shouldn't I be able to explain myself or ask her a question? I walked down there. Was I mad? Yeah, of course I was mad. So I walked down and I just purely just wanted to ask if she saw me out there. I wanted to make her accountable.
Idea what you're doing out there. You're going to be sexy. What are you doing?
Go, go, go. If you have mirror, you can see. If you are fast, you can go. I see you. I see you. If you are fast, you can like show.
What the hell? It's not my fault that you're slow. But you're giving everybody a hard time out there. I just want to talk to her about it. I've been texting 3 times this weekend now.
Find your best.
I just
no,
don't know.
You like show. You like show. Go. One way of here. You like show. If you are fast, fast because you are fast, yes? Because you can pass without problem.
When you're in the corner and you turn down. Oh, do you see? All I want to know is if you see me.
Please go away. Go away.
Do you think that your money can be
I remember nothing. Just I remember that I threw a towel twice. I remember anything else.
I blew way out of proportion because of the way that she got so angry and threw things at me. It was surprising to me. I've never spoken to her before, so that was my only interaction with Milka ever. It didn't go so great.
Ricky was trying to make it 4 wide, and the 36 came up to block him, and it turned him. So, and then the 78 was spinning. I went high, and somebody came up and clipped me and put me in the wall, and I'm not sure which car it was. Hopefully the fans are happy that they dried the track off and got to see some more racing out there. I now wish it would have been rained out.